Ozempic, TikTok's favorite weight loss drug, popularized by Elon Musk. Very smart guy, by the way, but touting a drug to help him lose weight and keep his weight under control. Non-diabetics now leveraging this medication to try to lose weight. I'm gonna break this down. I normally don't talk about drugs on this channel. We focus on natural health and keeping toxins out of our body, but this thing is going viral, and I wanna explain to you why it's a bad idea for Elon and anyone else using this one. And you're robbing it from diabetics that are not willing to change a lot of their lifestyle factors that actually need the medication. So let's break this thing down. I'm Dr. Livingood. Welcome to the show. What is Ozempic? So it is a semaglutide compound, and this means there's a peptide in your body, in your intestines. It's a hormone that basically is regulating your insulin, the emptying of your stomach, your gastric processes, what's happening as far as absorbing energy and absorbing, in a lot of cases, carbohydrates and how you absorb your food. So if you start shutting those things down, increasing insulin, you start to trick the body into weight loss, and it never works out to trick your body into anything, whether it's lower blood pressure, a normal functioning thyroid. Anytime you're using a drug, there's a lot of side effects, and I think you're gonna be shocked later in the video as I break down the side effects, but I'm also gonna give you exactly what you can do instead. So this drug is injected typically once a week. Okay, so the drug mimics the hormone GLP-1 in your body, and it attaches to the receptor where that hormone would normally go. So the body thinks it has more of this hormone, right? And what does this hormone do? Okay, it regulates insulin secretion and your appetite. So by literally taking this drug, you're tricking the body into thinking you have more of this hormone, which is going to increase insulin secretion. That's going to take more of the blood sugar out of your blood. It's going to create less storage of fat. It's going to suppress your appetite so that you eat more. And so you can see the attractiveness of this thing and why it's going viral. And so that's where it starts to work. So going deeper into how this drug works and what it traditionally does, it's going to slow down the emptying of your stomach. That in turn is going to delay the absorption of nutrients, specifically in this case, carbohydrates, because you all want to eat a lot more of those, a lot more sugars. It's then going to prevent a glucose spike after your meal. So the nutrients are going to get absorbed slower. You're getting less of a dump of blood sugar into your body because we ate a donut or we ate bread or chips or crackers or tortilla shells or whatever it may be, and we are going to dump a bunch of blood sugar in. Well, insulin's up, so it's keeping that sugar spike down, and then it's moving it slower through your system so that you have less of a big spike going on. Then it's going to increase that circulating insulin, keep that high, stimulates the production of even more insulin inside of your body, and then it reduces the release of additional sugar from your liver into your bloodstream. So it slows down the liver dumping sugar into the bloodstream. It slows down the stomach from absorbing the sugar into the bloodstream, keeps insulin high in the bloodstream. So you can see why this is advantageous for diabetics. But when you give it to someone that's not diabetic, that's what they're starting to test on. And they're seeing that it causes people to have some weight loss. Of course, you're totally messing with the body's insulin usage and energy usage. Okay, so it leads to an increased percentage of people losing weight for X amount of time after taking this medication compared to other drugs that are similar to this one, or compared to just those taking a placebo and getting an injection of placebo. So they're studying this hard to get the FDA approval to say, hey, this is now a weight loss drug, not a diabetes drug. So think about this. What we are saying is that we are going to treat average human beings that overconsume, that may have their lifestyle off, that deal with the addictions and the bad habits that a lot of us deal with. We're going to treat them with a diabetes medication to help keep their weight under control. Clearly, this is an overconsumption and a really bad food choice option, which leads to a lot of toxicity. It's going to lead a lot of deprivating effects over time, but we're just saying, well, let's just treat them with the diabetes medication. Now, that's taken away from those with true cases of diabetes that they haven't been able to control, chose not to control. There's some of you out there that choose not to go down that route, or they're just faced with a scenario, not type 1, type 2, and they're taking it from those people, and now there's a shortage of the drug, and that's why it's going crazy. So then when something is in low supply, then people are going crazy with it, and they're using it off-label to treat their weight loss. Now here's the problem with this overall, okay? Watch this. Number one, the injection itself costs $700. So I don't want to hear, I can't afford to lose weight. I can't afford to, here's this thing that's exploding. It costs $700 because we love the quick fixes, right? $700 per injection. That's 700 bones a week, right? Fast math, we're talking almost $3,000 $1,000 a month, $36,000 a year to get this thing. Or you could just take better care of your body. Now, I'll get to those steps in a little bit. But then here's number 2, side effects. Here's the issue with this, okay? Nausea is number 1 because it's messing with your stomach emptying. It's literally slowing down the digestive process of your body. You are fighting against your body's natural ability to move food through your system. It makes you a little sick. But secondarily, it inflames the pancreas because you're amping up secretion. You're asking the stomach to slow down and the pancreas to go into overdrive. You're asking for pancreatic burnout. It inflames it. So the pancreas gets mad. It's like, I'm not gonna break here. You're forcing me into overdrive to pump out extra insulin. That's dicey over time. On the box that the injection comes with, there is a risk that they found in the studies that it created tumors in the thyroid. Now that happened in rats, in test animals. They have not confirmed those cases in humans. Of course we haven't, because now we're going crazy about this thing. We're gonna force it quickly to market because people want it. And here it has a direct tie to thyroid tumors and thyroid cancer because you're pumping your metabolism into overdrive. You're forcing it into it. You're asking, it's like keeping your car stick shift in low gear and hitting the accelerator. That's what's going on here. It increases risk of diabetic neuropathy. It increases the risk of diabetic retinopathy. That's damage to your eyes that's caused by diabetes. When you have that much insulin in your blood and it's cranked up like that, damaging eyesight. Next, it creates hypoglycemia. If you crank insulin up in your blood, you are crashing your blood sugar down. People are getting lightheaded, people passing out. That blood sugar crash. We gotta watch out for that side effect. Next one's interesting. It creates gallbladder disease, which can include gallstones and inflammation in your gallbladder. Now, how does it do that? Remember, it stops the liver from dumping sugar into the bloodstream. So where does the sugar pile up? In your liver. That is a fast track to fatty liver. This is going to accelerate, in my prediction, people using it, it's going to accelerate liver damage and fatty liver disease, which we already have way too much of because it's making the liver hold on to more of those toxins in the form of sugar, and that's going to turn into fat, let alone inflame the gallbladder, cause gallstones, your liver is bogged down. And then finally, there's allergic reactions, just like to anything that just straight up throw you into some level of inflammation, anaphylactic shock, damage to your system. And the third point I want to make here is not only does it cost $3,000 a month to do, not only does it have that lengthy, really damaging side effect list, but I want to revisit what we just talked about. Number 3, it blocks your liver from emptying. It's hurting your nutrient absorption into your stomach. It's slowing down nutrient absorption. So what kind of mineral deficiencies does this create? What kind of fatty liver problems does this create? And it doesn't actually fix the main problem in the first place. Your metabolism was broken. You are insulin resistant. Proven by you have to put more insulin into the system in order for it to work. All that's going to do is burn it out more and more over time, because what's basically happening is your body is saying, I got an Amazon delivery. It's insulin at the door. I want to drop off some sugar. The cell says, fine, here you go. Got another delivery. Gonna drop off another package of sugar at your door. Cell says, okay. Again? Insulin again. I got some more sugar for you. Insulin again. I have some. And finally, you stop answering the door. Leave it on the doorstep. Take it to the neighbors. You get tired of answering. Your cells get tired of answering. And the packages start piling up. And you become Amazon delivery resistant. You become insulin resistant. You don't want to hear from insulin anymore. It keeps knocking, but it can't come in. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Right? That's insulin resistance. It's increasing the problem as opposed to fixing the core issue, which you were insulin resistant to start with, and you fixed it with just more insulin, essentially. And instead of injecting it, you just had your pancreas make more of it, and you put that thing into hyperdrive. That's how this thing is working. So what can we do instead, right? Obviously, you can tell from my whole philosophy, the less drugs in human beings, the healthier human beings are. It's not my opinion. It is a fact. These are toxins. If you put them, that injection or any drug, into the fish bowl, what happens to the fish? They get sick faster, okay? And when they're getting sick, you don't pull them out and do microsurgery. You don't give them aspirin, right? You empty the water and clean up the environment. And so more toxins in the water is going to make more toxic fish. You work the same way. More toxins in a human being, more toxic. Taking a little aspirin might not kill you, but if you take one every single day for 10 years, research shows it's really bad for your stomach, your cancer risk, and your heart. So it's going to be the same thing with this or any medication. So let me get you some steps out of it. Big 4 right here. How can we go about fixing the insulin sensitivity and getting the similar, if almost not better effects without having to take this $3,000 a month drug? Number 1, increase your own insulin sensitivity. Get more excited to answer the door. Yeah, hi, delivery? I'll take it. Sure. Another one? Yeah, hi, here we go. I'll take it. How do we improve that? We want to less frequently knock, and we want to go periods of time longer in between the knocks. What do I mean by that? I mean, we want to spike insulin less. Easiest way to do this is lower your carbohydrates, focus more on healthy fats. If you eat healthy fats, you burn fat. If you eat lots of carbohydrates, you burn carbohydrates. Okay, so that's what your body's running off of. So give it a different fuel. Fat does not spike insulin. So focus more on healthier fats, lowering the carbohydrates. That's going to decrease the amount of knocks because you're not spiking glucose. Then rotational fasting. And that's going to be longer periods of time in between the knocks. What that means is slowly move your body from a state of overeating, overconsuming, too many carbohydrates, addicted to foods, and slowly move out of it. Don't jump right into a 16-8 fast. Don't jump right into a 3-day fast. Don't jump right. That can crash things. It can stress your system. It can be hard on your adrenal glands and your hair, all these. Rotational fasting is easing you in to just getting you consistent with your knocks 3 meals a day. Instead of breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack before bed. We're knocking all day long. Less meals, get you into just 1, 2, 3, then start to trim them down. Half-size breakfast, omit breakfast, half-size lunch. So you slowly work your body down to less knocking and less reliance on all of this eating. And then you hit your goals, and then we slowly move you back out of it into normal, consistent, non-snacking eating again. That's rotational fasting. I put a link in there for you to understand how to do that. Apple cider vinegar. Taking this for a month or two costs about $3,000 less and has similar effects on your insulin sensitivity. In fact, in studies, when put up against things like metformin, it did just as good a job of lowering blood sugar levels. So you can use ACV. You know what ACV? Yeah, you know me. This is why we could charge $3,000 for this stuff, because it has a similar, not the same effect as the drug, but a similar effect on your blood sugar levels. Keep those blood sugar levels down, help out your insulin sensitivity. 2 tablespoons twice a day for the max effect. 1 tablespoon twice a day would be fantastic. Or you can do little capsules before your meal to help with your digestion. Doing that for a month or 2. And don't necessarily use it long term, but to help you hit your goals, that can get it under control. We want to help the liver, not bog it down even more. You overeating carbohydrates or too many big meals or too often is creating fat in your liver. Now, I have entire videos on this alone, but one of the best herbs you could put in to galvanize your liver, protect it, help it get the fat out of there, and help it to empty and do what it's supposed to do to keep you clean and detox you is milk thistle. Incredible plant that galvanizes that liver, puts a protective shield around it. I take milk thistle every single day. I put a link in the description of the one I use. I just put it right in my collagen protein to use it. But you can find a good clean form, right? There's one in there. You can check that out. The second thing I use on a daily basis to help the stomach emptying, right? To help with feeling full, absorbing nutrients properly, not just dumping sugar directly into the bloodstream. That's what the drug is doing, right? Well, did you know there's an herb, a root, that actually does this almost equally as well? It's called konjac root, also known as glucomannan. And glucomannan will help with stomach emptying, will lower blood sugar levels in studies. And so that right there will help to kind of gum up everything in the digestive system and bring it together a little bit more before passing on. And it just helps slow down slightly that big rush of blood sugar spiking, all the blood sugar and the glucose going into the bloodstream. Glucomannan konjac root, which has no known side effects there. That's also in the collagen that I use. So I use these on a daily basis, and this is when it hit me when I saw about this drug. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. On a daily basis, I'm attacking this thing, and that is exactly how I do it. Taking apple cider vinegar, right? Increasing my insulin sensitivity by using rotational fasting, putting in milk thistle to protect from fatty liver, and using glucomannan to help with my blood sugar levels. Easy steps for you that you can use as well. There's some links in the description for you to those to make it more simple to implement, right? So check those out. And then as a next step, I made a lowering insulin and lowering your weight video with rotational fasting. And that's the next video up. So you don't have to use a dangerous drug like Ozempic. You can do it yourself naturally and get the results long term. Check out this video.